So I've been deep in thought since yesterday afternoon. Yesterday, I attended a celebration of life for a young man that I knew. Had the opportunity to meet him a number of times. We have mutual relatives, and also I was able to meet him at church. And he was a young man that was just full of life, had a great smile, had a great presence to him, seemed to have a promising future. His family is just absolutely amazing. His parents are godly people, and they're just people that you admire. They're people that make you feel like $1,000,000 whenever you're around them. They just have this presence around them that's just absolutely beautiful, and there's so much love and unity in that family. You can just see it, even just being around them. And yet, even with all of that, anxiety and depression got the best of this young man. And this just seems to be a story, a narrative that I keep on hearing over and over and over again. I was reading today, and I was reading that there's a suicide that's committed every 40 seconds here on this earth, here on this planet. And in the United States alone, there's about 129 suicides that are committed each and every day. And men are 3.5 times more likely to commit suicide than women. And while it's nothing that I desire for anybody, it saddens me and it grieves my heart because there's not enough safe spaces for men to be able to share what's going on inside of them. It's out of the cultural norm for a man to be able to express himself. And I myself, I'm caught up in right trapped in the middle of three different cultures. I'm American, I'm Latino, I'm from Mexican heritage, and I'm from the Christian culture. I come from that subculture as well. And there's just not enough places where a man is able to express himself freely and what he is really feeling inside. It seems like it's against cultural norms for a man to be able to express sadness, emptiness, even anger. It seems like anger is frowned upon even from the beginning of childhood, but yet anger can be such a powerful emotion that spurs someone to a point of doing good. But yet, as men, we're taught to repress these feelings. We're taught to repress emotion because it's just not culturally acceptable. And what is the things that are addressed is behavior. And I come from a long lineage of Christianity, and I've attended men's meeting after men's meeting, and it always seems to be centralized over like the topic of sports, or usually combined with sports, and then also some type of hot topic that is addressing male behavior. And it could be something like pornography, it could be something like addiction, it could be a number of things. But you know what I never see being addressed is the reason behind behavior, the why behind the what. And so what I see men being faced with is just this long list of things that we ought to not be doing, but the things that are causing us to want to suppress feelings and to cover it up with actions that are not socially favorable, those things aren't being addressed. And so we find people that are just strung out on hurt and pain and unable to express themselves. And even the thought of a man expressing himself to his family or to his faith community just seems to be something that is just frowned upon. People are thought of as being weak or less than. It shouldn't be that way. So I've been putting a lot of thought into how I'm gonna be working my platforms come next year. Been using this 90-day challenge that I have on my social media platforms also to work on myself. And one of the things that I just really feel that God has placed inside of my heart, and part of me fulfilling my purpose here on earth, is really to empower men to be resilient. I really believe that my platform ought to be a place where people can be empowered to build the resiliency to face the adversity in their life. Because you see, it's impossible for us to ever face a life where we don't face moments of darkness. As a matter of fact, the whole reason why I ended up building this platform, the platforms that I built, is because I faced a season of darkness where I was a mess. And I didn't know if my wife was going to take me back. I didn't know if I was even going to be socially accepted socially, with my friends and with my faith community. And I'm just so grateful that I was able to find the strength to dig myself out of the pit that I had created. So I want to be able to build this place where this space where men are able to feel empowered to dig themselves out of the mess that they've made. And the reality is, all the messes that we encounter in life, not every single one of them is based on choices that we've made. A lot of times it's we face pain because of choices other people have made. But nevertheless, I believe that we have God divine appointed strength in our life that many of us don't know how to tap into, simply because we don't know how to address the fact that we are hurting. Yesterday at the celebration of life, one of the young man's friends, he stood up and he talked about how one good breath deserves another. And that just lifted up my spirit hearing that, because that's the truth. And I want to be able to provide a space where men are able to take one good breath and say, you know what, this breath deserves another one. And maybe I don't know what next week looks like. Maybe I don't even know what tomorrow looks like. But today I'm choosing to live. And today I'm choosing to address the things that hold me back from being who God created me to be. And so I want to invite you. I want to invite you on this journey that I'm going to be entering in next year. I know that it's going to be a little bit of a change of pace, but I really am looking forward to empowering people, specifically men, to be able to step up and be empowered with resilience. Resilience is a choice, and it's up to us to take the steps to get there. And it starts with just coming clean and recognizing that we aren't perfect, that we are human, that we do have feelings. Feelings are not something to be feared. Feelings are something to be felt, and they're meant to be expressed, and they send us messages. And those messages, if we tune into them, they will empower us and show us what the next step is. So I want to encourage you to join me on this journey. And in doing so, I'm inviting you, number one, to pray for me because it's taking a bold step of faith to step out on and to do this. And number two, I'm going to encourage you, to join me in the conversation. And maybe that doesn't describe you. The person that I'm talking about doesn't describe you, but perhaps you know of somebody that needs to be participating in this conversation. Perhaps you know of someone that has been struggling with something. You know someone that has allowed an event in their life to define them, and they find themselves trapped. They want to get out and they don't know how to do it. I want to encourage you to encourage them. I want to invite you to invite them along with me on this journey. Anyhow, I'm looking forward to this next season in life. I do recognize that it's going to be sometimes at a bit painful, because we're going to be addressing truth, but I'm excited because I believe that we're going to be empowering men to be who they were created to be. So I invite you to join me. Look forward to seeing you there on the other side, friend. Be blessed.